will target and punish those who disagree with him or refuse to bend to his will. He calls these Americans the enemy within and says that he would use the American military to go after American citizens. Journalists whose stories he doesn't like. Nonpartisan election officials who refuse to cheat by finding a few extra votes for him. Judges who insist on following the law instead of following him. It is for reasons like these that General Mark Milley, the former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Donald Trump's top general, has called Trump, and I quote, fascist to the core.
Oh no, Donnie is blaming the Democrats again. Today at 11:52 a.m., he posted on Truth Social, the Democrats are the ones who leaked the information on the perfect flight to the nuclear sites in Iran. They should be prosecuted. I mean, he just makes things up. Where's the proof, Donnie? You want to talk about confidentiality, top secret? Why don't you look at Pete Hegseth, who started those Signal group chats and added people who shouldn't have had the information, and they shouldn't have been using Signal anyway. How hypocritical of you and your entire administration. You just want to blame the Democrats because you don't like them. That's not how any of this works, bud. So, whatever.
Donald Trump is threatening to defund California, but it's Econ 101. California is a donor state. We provide over $80 billion more in tax revenue to the federal government than the federal government provides to the people of the state of California. We help pay federal bills. So if Donald Trump's going to continue to threaten 40 million Americans that live in California, maybe we should consider withholding those resources.
You know, folks, I've covered several stories here on the channel about women who, since Roe versus Wade got overturned, wasn't able to get the health care that they needed, and a lot of times ended up losing their lives because of it. And these stories are always tragic, and I always dread covering them, honestly, but I do to raise awareness on the issue. I've always said in every one of those videos that these things would have to happen to Republicans before they would care. But in this next story, it did happen to a Republican who then found a way to turn and blame it on Democrats. And no, I'm not making this up, but if you haven't heard the story, I think it's one worth covering. This was Republican lawmaker Kat Cammack out of Florida. I'm going to be reading here from WCJB ABC. Representative Cammack opens up about ectopic presidency sparking debate over Florida abortion law. So I'm going to read a little bit of it right here. North Central Florida U.S. Representative Kat Cammack recently shared the challenges she faced getting treatment for a life-threatening pregnancy complication, sparking a debate over Florida's 6-week abortion ban. Congresswoman Cammack, a Republican, spoke exclusively with the Wall Street Journal about a pregnancy she had expelled in May of 2024, shortly after the state abortion law went into effect. Doctors informed her that she had an ectopic pregnancy, which occurs when a fertilized egg implants outside of a woman's uterus. The condition is fatal for the unborn baby and can be life-threatening for the mother. Cammack explained that the medical professionals in Florida initially refused to terminate the 5-week-old pregnancy due to fears they would be violating state law, which took effect earlier that month. In order to convince the hospital staff, she pulled up the law on her phone and even tried to call the governor's office. Hours later, doctors gave her methotrexate to expel the embryo. The Congresswoman placed the blame not on state law, which allows abortions and related procedures to protect the life of the mother, but on pro-choice messaging. It was absolute fear-mongering at its worst, she told the publication. There will be some comments like, well, thank God we have abortion services, even though what I went through wasn't an abortion. I can't pronounce this county, Democratic Party jumped on the story as a showcase of how criminalizing abortion with vague laws creates situations where doctors are afraid to act. Representative Kat Kamak's ectopic pregnancy put her life at risk, and her treatment was delayed because of the very abortion ban that she supported. Doctors were too scared to treat her, even if she couldn't get care. What hope is there for the rest of us? The Congresswoman's office provided TV 20 the following statement in response to our request to comment on the story. Congresswoman Kamak highlighted the critical women's health crisis.
Because we don't believe that as politicians, somehow when we got elected, we were automatically imbued with all of the intelligence and wisdom necessary to be able to micromanage the individual lives and decisions of over 8 million Virginians. And that doesn't make us mean, Mr. Speaker. It used to mean what a free country was. Because if the only thing freedom means is that you get to elect politicians to micromanage your life, well, then we're not living in a free country. So maybe what's required out of this body, Mr. Speaker, is a little bit less hubris. So I will do my best to not question the intentions of my colleagues on the other side of the aisle. I think you're wrong a lot. And I know you think I'm wrong a lot. The difference is that when I think you're wrong, I don't typically chalk it up to you being stupid, evil, mean, or racist. Maybe you could try the same thing. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Wow, that was powerful, and definitely it needed to be said. Honestly, I think it's something that needs to be said, not just down there in Virginia, but also, on the national stage, out in D.C. And let's just keep it real. Democrats don't want the same outcomes as us. Let's stop pretending that they do. Some may believe that their policies help, but the truth is most are pushing outcomes that are inherently harmful to American citizens. And whether that's ignorance or intention, the results is still the same. Devastation, particularly for the communities they claim to protect. He made some strong points, very strong points, but he's dangerously wrong about Democrat motives. This isn't a case of good intentions going bad. I don't think that is the case. This is a case of power pursued at any cost. And I genuinely wonder, how does this make everyday Democrats feel? Not the politicians, I'm talking about the everyday people. If it doesn't trigger at least a flicker of embarrassment or self-reflection, then something deeper is broken. Everything the Democrat Party pushes serves one purpose. It's their own survival, politically and financially. They sell their agenda as compassion for the poor and concern for children, but behind the curtain, it's all ambition and accumulation. They're not solving problems. They're managing narratives. They're not leading the people. They're manipulating the people. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness. And that's exactly what we're seeing. I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. What are your thoughts on what this particular individual had to say? I mean, wow. There was a lot of truth, a whole heck of a lot of truth there. But I do think that he was trying to be nice. Maybe it was, to lend an olive branch to the people on the left. Maybe that was the case. I don't know. And that's why he didn't go even harder on him. But what we do understand is that the left don't care about no olive branch. They only care about power or the accumulation of it. They only care about pushing their agenda by any means necessary. But I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe, turn the notifications on to all so you...
I voted for Donald Trump, and that is something that I am not proud of. I regret that vote every day. I am using this platform because I want others out there like myself to come forward. And I know they don't, because clearly you can look in my comment section. I am getting ripped apart. And I just wanted to make this video. I have been responding to a lot of you. And to the people who just come out and tell me I don't deserve forgiveness, I don't deserve this or that. I get it. I get it. You guys are really, really angry right now. But hopefully I can earn your trust back. I do plan to have my first protest June 14th. I am meeting Daria. She is another TikToker here, and she lives right close by. So I'm really looking forward to this. I am here to make a change, and I would love to see this man impeached and out of office. So if others want to come forward, please We need you. We need you, and we need to hear your story. Remember, I love you guys, and you guys still matter. Go out there and win the day.
You know, MAGA Cubans happen to be the most miserable people on this planet. So I want you to recall this memory that happened in Miami not even a year ago. Remember that billboard that was talking ill about Donald Trump? Remember how the Cuban people lost their everlasting minds? I remember because I got a great payout from doing that video of Cubans losing their minds. Now, these MAGA Cubans were so upset about this anti-Trump billboard that they threatened to shut down the Palmetto. They were on every news station, they contacted their representatives, and eventually the billboard came down. Do you see any of that action occurring down in Miami right now when they see their people being taken away? Of course not. Do you hear any new jingles from the Cuban community talking about the immigration issue? Nope. They are still beholden to Papi Trump. This is why they're miserable creatures. And I hate that because we know that some of the Democratic and independent Cubans voted for Kamala. And they get penalized because the Cuban people as a whole voted for Donald Trump. And you guys are despicable. And you're not doing anything. You're not doing anything. Mexicans are over there in California fighting for their people. And you guys are doing nothing, as expected. I wish there was a way that you could turn all of this around. You guys are the worst.
Hey everybody, Rich coming to you here at leavingmaga.org. I want to make a particular appeal today to MAGA Americans. I really don't believe that what is happening in our country now is something that you want. But I understand that it's not a natural act for us to admit that we believed lies and that we acted upon them and that we allowed those lies to shape our being and our personhood and our identity. And Leaving MAGA does not judge you. We do not ostracize those who have doubts. You are welcome with us at our community. And for friends and family who are out there who have friends and family in MAGA, we are here for you as well for support. Make sure that you follow us at our socials, leavingmaga.org. Get on our newsletter. Make sure you're subscribing. Empathy is much more preferable than scorn. Thanks so much, everyone. Appreciate your support.
How are you guys handling this? Because I can't. Like, they are hunting us down like animals. Like, and are you all okay with this? Just because we look this way? Just because of our names? Like, what? I'm so angry. Like, there is so much rage watching those videos of raids in construction sites, like on the street, and by Proud Boys, by white supremacists. They're hunting us down because we look this way, because we speak this way, because we go, like, I don't understand how people are still defending this man. Like, I don't get it. Make me understand. Because I cannot wrap my head around you hunting people down because they look the way they look. Like, what?
I think the hardest part about all of this is that middle-aged, I didn't think I could get fooled again by politicians, not after W, which I voted for.
Sure you did. We're not surprised.
I voted for peace and independent parties.
No, you did.
Every election since then.
No, you did.
And I'm still processing the fact that I've part of the demographic that ushered this into power.
Yeah, thanks. Congratulations.
Now we're sending our kids to die in war again. Over nukes.
Yeah.
Not weapons of mass destruction. That was never going to work. It's full-blown, maybe potentially nukes this time.
Yeah.
I hate myself.
Yeah, you should. Oh, you silly biatch. You knew exactly what you were voting for. And you don't sound like the typical podunk, lack of education MAGA type that we see. And you just admitted that you keep up with politics. And he literally has been saying what he was going to do for years. And you know about Project 2025. You voted with your racism and your hate. And now you're in that finding out phase. Literally because you're worried about the kids around you that might be shipping out soon, or some of those that might be coming to your hometown. But guess what? There's many of us that we're not forgiving and forgetting you assholes, okay? So welcome to the fascism that you helped create. And you know that last part that you said, we feel the same way. We hate you assholes too, all right? But the rest of you, y'all have a good day now, okay?
It's been a few days since I lost my job. I posted a few days ago, and I am now thoroughly regretting my vote for Trump. I had no idea that this is where it was going to go, that this is what he was going to do. You see Cheetos up there? Hi, Cheetos. Who's going to feed him? Who's going to buy my cat food? Who's going to buy my kids food? I had an absolutely amazing position where I was able to basically have America count on me. And now that's been taken away. I no longer have faith in the economy. I no longer have faith in Trump. I no longer have faith that we are ever going to find out how many licks it takes to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop. I no longer have that faith. It's gone. So you can crack all the jokes you want to. You can make fun of us all you want. But I was earning $45 a minute in hopes of figuring out how many licks it took to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop. And now the world may never know.
Okay, so I'm watching Rachel Maddow. Oh God, this is a really weird filter. Oh well, my lashes look fabulous. Anyway, so I'm watching Rachel Maddow, and oh my God, they had all these interviews of these Trump voters, of course, in Michigan that were so shocked to tell you, and just miserable over what to do right now. The fuck? Well, he's acting like a dictator. He said he wanted to be a dictator. Like, what's the big mystery? Well, I thought he was going to do more with the economy, and why are we fighting with Canada? I didn't understand. And then other people, well, he said he would, but I just really didn't believe he'd do these things. You, the idiots. Again, my patience for MAGAteers is pretty much fucking zero. You motherfucker. And then the shocking thing is I'm watching all these voters that they're interviewing in Michigan. There's all these black people that voted for Trump. He hates you. He hates you. He's always hated you. The racist. How do you vote for a fucking racist as a black person? How do you vote for Mr. Deportation as a Latino person? Oh my God. Again, I'm sorry. You put us all in hell. Social Security's going down the toilet because they're going through with all their fucking plans on that. Everything's going to shit, and he's kissing Putin's ass, and you people, yeah, I didn't think you really did that. Again, listen, maggots. We don't feel... By the way, that's the color I want to paint my room. That's why I always have this blob there. Sorry. He kept saying he wanted to be a dictator. He's going to have more deportations than anyone else. Blah, 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 blah. Now you're like, well, I didn't know he was going to attack Greenland and Panama and Canada. And this one woman complained, he's just so erratic. Hello? The fuck? Yeah, and one of the guys asked him, it's like, well, you saw him, the first time around, you didn't expect he might be doing this. He said, well, he didn't seem that bad the first time. He tried to overthrow the government, you dumbass! And then this one woman, it's almost like I can't watch the news. Well, obviously you didn't previously. You didn't know what a fucking lying piece of shit he was. Or, all for this economic boon that you wanted to have, you just throw every person under the fucking bus, including yourself. And now, eggs are really expensive. All these tariffs, blah, blah, blah. He kept saying he'd put tariffs in. You just believed his stupid idea that tariffs would fucking help you. Well, the tariffs. He said that was his number one plan, and you all voted for it. I'm sorry. Magateers, boo motherfucking who, you idiots.
Hey, I voted for Donald Trump. And really starting to regret my vote because this isn't what I voted for. I voted for a lot more people to go to jail. I voted for a lot more politicians to be stripped of their power and put in prison for the crimes that they've committed against humanity. I voted for the Epstein list to come out. The full list. The full fucking list of every politician, every bureaucrat that had anything to do with those mines.
I'm gonna say the meanest thing I could possibly say to these Trump voters posting self-pity videos because they're suffering due to his policies. Now, I don't do personal attacks, so I'm just gonna tell you the truth, because sometimes the truth hurts. You don't get to complain. You definitely don't get to complain about the lack of leadership or ideas coming from Democrats, because we didn't do this to us. You did this to us. If you and I are driving down the interstate together and you reach over and grab the wheel and you steer us into a 200-foot deep ravine full of lava and sharks because you think big interstate is corrupt and you thought it would be funny to shake things up, when I scream at you as lava sharks eat our legs, you don't get to be mad at me for being mad at you, because it was my idea to stay on the interstate and it was your idea that ruined everything for both of us. You don't get to ask what Democrats would do differently with the economy. You don't get to ask what Democrats are doing to help us right now. Those are 2024 questions, but we're in 2025 consequences. This era of the United States right now, this is about the president you elected, the cabinet secretaries your Senate confirmed, the cowering Republicans you elected to obey him in Congress, and all of the very real consequences resulting. We told you these things were going to happen and we gave you lots of warnings, but you grabbed the wheel anyway. If you want to know what Democrats would do differently, look at the track record going back to the Great Depression. Economic growth, job growth, wage growth, retirement plan growth, all of these things have been better under Democratic leadership than Republican. If you like these things, you vote for Democrats because it's what Democrats do. I don't care if you like the Democratic candidate. I don't even care if you understand how the policies work. And I'm not going to ask you if you believe me, because every chart and every graph that matters at the highest level for the middle class proves me right over the past 100 years. I'm only going to ask you that over the next year and a half, you come to grips with this fact so you don't make the same mistake again.
Maga are fucking insane. These people live in a world of their own fucking delulu making. Y'all heard about that Republican congresswoman that had an ectopic pregnancy, and in Florida, and the doctors didn't want to treat her because they were afraid, because of the laws that they have passed, because they want to turn this place into Gilead. That's what it's called, right? That show. Anyway, so she's like, it's the Democrats' fault. What? The Republican Party, the party of pro-life, are the ones that have taken the rights away from women and doctors to help women like her. She just... okay. Bitch, what? What the fuck? She's a Republican congresswoman in Florida. Florida. She gotta blame Democrats for her decisions, for her votes in Congress and in the State House. Like, you passed those laws. Didn't you? Didn't you vote for those laws? Lobbied for those laws? So, when the shit happened to you, like, literally, oh my, these people. It happened to her. Her own shit that she lobbied for, that she supports, for, that's the Republican Party platform. It's always been their fucking platform. And now she's like, no, it's the Democrats that did it. No, bitch. It was you. You did it. The fuck?
Hi guys, welcome back once again to my YouTube channel. I'm B-Boy. Remember, if it was for the first time you're coming across my video, don't forget to like this video, subscribe and share. Okay guys, into this clip is all about the Maga supports. Make America great again. And now Maga supports are blaming the Democrats. And Mega supports often blame the Democrats for a variety of reasons, many roots in ideological, cultural, and political difference. Here are the main themes behind why MAGA supports are blaming the Democrats. Number one thing is maybe is the policy disagreement. On policy disagreement, you have something like immigration. You know, immigration is the movement of a person to another country with its aim to reside in there. And MAGA subsons are often view Democrats as promoting open border policies, which they believe threaten national security, lead to increase in crime, and burden public resources. We all know when President Donald Trump came to a seat, his first agenda was to do a mass deportation of all illegal immigrants, and a lot of illegal immigrants were being deported from United States because they didn't have valid document, and a lot of people were being deported, Mexican, Latinos, black people, everywhere. And when they were being deported, a lot of them really came out crying out why they voted for Donald Trump, and these are the main reason maybe these people they are still complaining till yet why they were being deported forcefully back to their country. And you are being deported whether you are criminal or not. Another thing on policy disagreement is economy. They may blame Democrats for high taxes, government regulation, inflation, or perceived socialist economic policies. They blame these people maybe because when the government really changed in the United States, there was high taxation. People were being taxed. The taxation was went at a very high cost. So, but these people were being taxed high, and they really didn't. These people were not happy why the government did so. Another thing is gun rights. Many MAGA supporters see Democrats as trying to infringe on Second Amendment rights through gun control legislation. Another things in energy and climate. MAGA supporters often oppose democratic policy on climate change, seeing them as harmful to the energy sector, especially oil, gas, and coal jobs. We all know climate change is caused by maybe human activities. When human activities maybe burn some harmful things, they emit some harmful gases to the sky, which changes a lot of climate changes. And climate changes, it's a very bad disaster because it really causes a lot of things to happen to our current world. Second thing is cultural and social issues. Woke ideology. MAGA supporters frequently accuse Democrats of promoting culture, including progressive stance on gender, race, and education, which they see as radical or divisive. Another thing is critical race theory. These are seen by many MAGA supporters as form of indoctrination or anti-American sentiment pushed by Democrats. We all remember when President Donald Trump was looking for maybe his supporters, was looking for those people who will support him. One of his speech was that whether you are a black or white person, if you are being cut and you bleed, we all bleed the red blood. Whether you are black or white, we all bleed the red blood, and we are all made from God. I don't know whether politicians just make these sweet words whenever they want this support from all their people, or they just there to sweet talk people, but until when they win this seat, they change their true colors. Another thing is election integrity. Following the 2020 election, many MAGA supporters claimed the election was stolen or rigged, blaming Democrats and sometimes establishment Republicans for what they view as fraudulent or unfair practice, even though numerous audits are court cases found no widespread fraud. A lot of people during the 2020 election, they said that maybe there was some votes which were stolen because there were a lot of fraud, but unfortunately they choose the right leader. And another thing is media and free speech. Many believe Democrats are aligned with major media outlets, big tech, and institutions that suppress conservative voice, e.g. through censorship on social media platforms. There are perceptions that Democrats support limits on speech under guise of combating or misinformation. Another thing is deep state government overreach. MAGA theoretic often include distrust of federal agencies like the FBI, DOJ, IRS, believing they have been weaponized against conservatives. They may see Democrats as complicit in or supportive of this alleged overreach. Another thing is Trump derangement syndrome. Many mega supporters believe that Democrats and other border established are irrationally obsessed with attacking Donald Trump, and they interpret investigation or impeachment as political witch hunt. We all know a lot of mega supports, they really came out in large numbers saying that they should impeach the current president, maybe because of high economy or high cost of living, high taxation. But as we can see, there is a lot of mega support that is still continuing from all over America. In a sense, mega supports blame Democrats because they see them as opposing their value on patriotism, freedom, religion, capitalism, and traditional American culture. Much of this blame is amplified by partisan media, ecosystem, social media, algorithm, and politics theory that reinforce in group loyalty and out of group. Yeah, a lot of mega supports are really blaming the Democrats because they feel like these people are the one maybe who did this mistake. But a lot of black people, they have really come out, and a lot of people who voted for Kamala Harris, they have really come out in large number and said that don't blame us as you voted for Kamala Harris, just blame yourself. A lot of black people, they really came out and said that they really made the right decision. And a lot of old people in USA, they say that they voted for Kamala Harris so that they can make America safe. A lot of people, they really came out and said that they vote for Kamala Harris because they really know what's going to happen. And mega support is still continuing. A lot of people, they are really blaming themselves. White people, Latinos, Mexicans, they're really blaming themselves for voting or making the wrong decision. What do you think in the comment section? Did these people make the right decision? Because a lot of people, they really came out crying out for help. They really need America to be great again. So guys, if it was for the first time I come across my video, don't forget to like this video, subscribe and share. Thank you so much for your time. May God bless you whenever you are. One love.